welcome back to River Talk. Someone's going to be on their best behavior for the next few minutes. Not me. I mean, you know how I am.
Well, I wonder who we are talking about
you,
here.
sweet daddy.
I'll be nice.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
hope
nice.
you are.
What do you think they call me deacon? My granddaddy's a preacher. Of course, he's gone now, and I get away with murder.
Your granddaddy ain't going to get you to heaven, son.
Huh?
Your granddaddy ain't going to get you to heaven.
Hey, he's up there now rallying for me. Okay?
All right,
Yeah,
all right. He
he's-
might be putting in a good word
That's
for you.
exactly
but
what he's doing.
come on now.
Yeah.
Don't make me go Baptist philosophical on you here. Hey, good to see you, Joshua. We were having a little conversation.
Oh,
there.
that's all good, man.
Feel free to jump in.
Yeah, no, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me. We appreciate it.
Joshua Sorrows, new pastor. I mean,
Yes, sir.
You still have like that new car smell.
I have a new car smell, and I'm sure that'll be worn off pretty quick, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, literally, this is like your first week on the job.
Yes, sir. It is. It is my first. It's actually my first day on the job. So I got a call yesterday, and it's my first day in the office, and I was in there for 45 minutes, and I came to see you guys. So this is a good way to start, right?
So, hey, we are popular then.
You are popular.
Yeah, this
yeah.
is great. We
Oh,
feel
yeah.
good. This is your first big interview.
Have
we can
everybody
handle it.
tuning in for that first broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
You've done interviews before, though, right?
I have, yes, sir. I've had interviews. I've done interviews, with big cable companies. I've done production with a production person before. Producing some content, some videos, some devotionals on video, especially with all COVID stuff. We had to do everything online at my former church.
Yep.
So I've been in front of a camera before and all of that, and so it's all good, man. I'm really excited to be here and very thankful. So thank you for having me.
Well, you're young to be leading a church. Langston's an old church, been around for a while.
Well, I'm
You
getting
may
gray
be-
hair.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
see, I'm getting a little bit, as my beard grows out, I get grayer.
All
So
right.
I think I feel a little bit more comfortable with that. But yes, I'm 38.
Okay.
And
Wow.
definitely, I guess, still young. It's nice, by the way, when you get 38, for people to still consider you young.
Yeah,
Because
you
you
are
begin
young.
to
Right.
start to say, hey, we have 3 young kids. My wife Sarah and I have 3 young kids. And sometimes when you get out of bed, and you're like, man, I'm getting old. And then other people say, hey, but you're still young. So that makes me feel really good. So
Yeah,
thank you.
I mean, I'll be 56 here soon, and he thinks I'm young.
Yeah,
So-
we don't
so
want to
that-
talk about
Yeah, we
my
don't
age.
talk about his age.
we won't talk about your
But
age.
he knows a lot of the guys personally you preach about on Sunday.
Okay, he
Yeah, he
does.
knows them. Yeah, back when the Dead Sea was just sick, he was right there.
Exactly. Yeah, thanks, Jack.
Well, that's great that you knew Moses and all those guys personally.
Oh
That's
yeah,
great.
oh
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
He knew Moses
Sure.
back when there was only 5 commandments.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
He might have been responsible for 2 of the last 5 too.
Well, exactly.
Or maybe they were added just because they
just
needed to be added
because
for
of
you.
him. Yeah,
They were all
What do you
because of that burning bush. I put aloe on it. It's all right.
Well, how did you? Well, I started to say, how did you choose becoming a pastor? But a lot of times, the calling it chooses you. So
Yes, sir. Around age of 17,
Okay.
I felt called to be a pastor, and I've been pursuing that ever since. And so I've held pretty much every job in the church, from cleaning bathrooms at the beginning all the way to being a lead pastor in Colorado, and now senior pastor at Langston here in South Carolina. So I've been in Georgia, Texas, Colorado, and now South Carolina.
Well, now, where are you originally from? Georgia?
From Georgia. I'm originally from Georgia. Go Dogs.
what town?
McDonough, Stockbridge area. My folks still live
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So,
Alrighty.
yeah. So
Well, they
about
had
5.5
to be
hours.
excited that you're a little closer to home.
They are. When I called my mom and told her that I could possibly have this job, she said, praise the Lord. She's like, this is the closest you've been to me in 14 years. And so now she doesn't have to fly across 2 time zones and all that kind of stuff. So she's
Yeah.
very excited.
I bet.
Plus, you can pack a bathing suit and hit the beach.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Right?
You
It's
can't
awesome.
beat that.
So we go from the mountains in Colorado to the beach here. So that's really nice. And my wife loves water. So
Oh,
she
good.
she loves the rivers and and the ocean and all that kind of stuff. So it's fantastic.
Awesome.
And my kids love the water park over at the Carolina Pines RV or whatever.
Oh,
it is.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
It is nice.
I've been
yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
They just want to go there. That's all they want to do.
Okay, that's nice. I'll
Sounds
introduce you to Ocean Lakes.
Yeah, a little plug here.
Yeah,
For,
it's just something I do whenever possible. Ocean Lakes Family Campground.
that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to believe that or
No,
not.
believe it.
Oh,
Oh,
believe it. Okay.
absolutely,
Believe it.
absolutely.
He's scoring
man.
with his wife at the
I'm gonna
moment.
get you a Sandy
yeah,
Starfish
we'll tell you about
T-shirt.
it.
You know,
Yeah,
on your
we'll tell
way
you
out
about it
right
later.
there.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great.
Well, church has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even talking, with the COVID nonsense that we're dealing with now. people's perception has changed.
Yes, sir.
People's attitude about God and Jesus, our Savior, has changed. And I'm an old rock and roll disc jockey, so is he. And there's stuff going on that freaks me out. When I watch the news, I'm like going, wait, this just didn't happen.
Yeah.
We turn a blind eye and we just sweep things under the rug, and
Yes.
pretty soon we can't open the door because the rug's got a great big heap in it.
Yeah,
what
totally.
happened?
Well, I think when you talk about for the specifically church in our society, I think our society has shifted greatly, and unfortunately, a lot of churches lag behind. They want to hold on a little bit more onto tradition and all those things. And the thing that I say is, as a church, what we want to do is we want to hold tight to the truth, but we want to hold culture, the way we do it, the method and how we deliver the gospel and care for the community. We want to hold that loosely because we want to be able to shift with the times and change with that so that the message is continually delivered in a way that is relevant to people and a way that it really invades their life and meets them in a place where they're at, right? And so that's what we really want the gospel to do, is meet people where they're at. And so I think that's some of the things that have happened, is that church just hasn't been able to keep up with the change in our societies, and therefore I think a lot of people, especially younger generations, look at the church as kind of outdated, irrelevant. They believe in spirituality, but this idea of being in the church is something that is a little bit more foreign to them. And so it's our job and it's our responsibility and my job as a lead pastor or senior pastor and responsibility of the leaders in the church to begin to shift churches in a way that is relevant to our community, that is reaching out. I mean, at Langston, one of the things that I want us to be is a church that the community wants and needs. And so when the community, when something happens, if there's a flood or homeless people or whatever it is, that people call Langston and say, hey, can you help us? And we say, absolutely, we're here to help. So that's the part that I think when you talk about church specifically, we have the church, and I say we, big C church, like big churches all over, we have failed to shift and maintain relevance in a way that we really need to. But that's something that we have to do in order to reach people with the gospel, which we believe is the best news and the most hopeful news that we have.
Yeah, because I think we're on the last chapter of the Bible.
Oh, here we
scary,
go.
man.
Oh, here we go.
Hey.
He's getting into the Revelation teaching over
Oh,
here.
yeah, man.
All right, he's comparing notes.
Well, that's the first thing I ever read. I wanted to read that first. It scared me, and then I started reading the front part.
Well, and that's the part, I was even thinking about this in context of doing this interview today. For folks who don't know Jesus and don't know the Bible and don't know the principles of the Bible and don't know the gospel and are not saved, what's going on in the world has to be terrifying, right? I mean, it has to be terrifying if you don't have that. But, for people who follow Jesus, Jesus told us that this is going to happen. There'll be wars, rumors of wars, there'll be pestilence, there'll be all these things that happen. But then he said, let your heart not be troubled, right? And so for us, especially in the climate that we find ourselves in 2020, I mean, election year, you got COVID, you've got riots in the streets, you've got, I think, fire tornadoes in California.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
saw that.
Two hurricanes hitting Houston this week. We really need to be able to, as the church, give people the message of hope, the message of comfort that comes from the Bible, and let them know that there is a Savior, and His name is Jesus, and that He's got this, and He has warned us about this ahead of time. But He also said, "Hey, don't let your heart be troubled. You stay calm, stay hopeful, because these things must happen."
Yeah, tomorrow it's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow, yes, sir.
Right, and not everything's fire and brimstone. I mean, we still have to live our life.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
And like I said, just if you get saved, you're good. You're good.
You're good.
Yeah,
Check.
you're good. Check,
You
man.
don't need any more 10 Commandments anymore. Your grandfather doesn't have to go and
There you go.
make 10 Commandments or 12 Commandments for you.
He's up there looking
It
at me
really does
now.
come down. It really does come down to love your neighbor. I mean,
Yes.
love is just it supersedes all of that. If I love you, then I'm not going to do things to you.
Absolutely. And, when you think about COVID and you think about people being kind of afraid to be together and that kind of, that fear is happening, that's one of the things that we're doing at Langston to make sure that we meet people where they're at. So we are, our services are at 9:30 online and in person. So you go to langstonbaptist.com and you have a watch live button there. So we have online for kids, and we have also online for our services. But then if you were to come into our services, hey, if you want to wear a mask, let's do that. We socially distance in our worship center. It's a big worship center, so we got a lot of space.
Yeah, you got a lot of room.
Yeah,
and so we
really.
socially distance. We dismiss people in intentional ways so that they're to prevent a lot of touching and hugging and things like that, because we really want to be sensitive, right? No matter where you're at on the political landscape or social landscape or whatever, what we want to do is provide a welcoming atmosphere to hear the hope of the gospel and the gospel message, and to give people hope during this time, because it's crazy.
Well, the youth, I've been involved with a little church that grew, and small churches, big churches.
Yes, sir.
It is a strange time now, because I have seen kids that get plugged into a church, and then the family comes along.
Absolutely.
That's a whole dynamic that, we were there. It was just expected that we were going to be at church on Sunday morning. There was no ifings and andings and buttings about it. You were going to church on Sunday, and there was always great youth programs and softball on the weekends and vacation Bible school. And somewhere it just looks like that lost its appeal.
Yeah, I think that's true. One of the things, and one of our focuses at Langston, is going to be kids and youth. And the reason why is because we want to equip kids and youth on how to deal with all that the world's going to throw at them, especially at an early age, and so that'll be one of our focuses. But also, like you said, having softball leagues and things like that, things that, again, that being the church that the community wants and needs.
Right.
That's all part of that, right? Having a safe place, a safe environment for parents to bring their kids, and not only that, but creating an irresistible environment for our kids and for our youth that say, "Hey, I want to go."
Right.
And the parents are like, "Okay, we'll get up and we'll go." But then all of a sudden having something for them to create community, because one of the best things to have during our life, and especially, when we're dealing with circumstances like this, is community, constant community wrapped around us, wrapped around our young kids, our youth, our young adults, our senior adults, and everybody, so that we have people to kind of a community to lean on and be a part of. And so that's what we really want to focus on at Langston, is building that kind of culture within our church, and then also that reaches outside the walls of our church for our community.
So
and having those
in other words, you're starting your own neighborhood gang.
there you go.
That's
Yes.
the best gang to join right there.
That
That's
is.
right.
It
Yeah,
is.
really.
Maybe we need to pick a color.
There you
Maybe
go.
we'll do orange
Where
or
are your
yellow or
colors?
something like that, right?
You say orange, and Gamecock fans get all worked up here. You'll figure it all out.
Yeah, right.
You said they will. You said purple. So, Roy,
Hey, purple. That's
yeah.
good.
Kids, you brought them up. You said you had 3. So tell me a little bit about them and your wife.
Yeah, so we have. So my wife and I have been married for 10 years. This past June.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You know nothing about marriage yet.
No,
Yeah,
not
right.
at all. We're still figuring it out, right? And so we've been married for 10 years, and we met while I was a school teacher before I became a pastor. While I was in seminary, I taught school.
Okay.
And so we met in a school, and so we have 3 kids. We have Caleb, who's 7. We have Micah, who's 3, and we call him the honey badger because he just don't care, right? And then we have Ethan, that is 8 months old.
Wow.
So we have that, and then we have a new puppy, golden doodle called Leia, because we're Star Wars fans in our house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
okay.
you got to
and,
have that.
and so after Princess Leia, so her name is Leia Skywalker Sorrows. And so that's our family. Our kids are in school already, and they're really excited, and so really thankful for all that. And, Caleb is kind of our creative one. He likes to color and draw and all that. Micah is our honey badger. He's our bulldozer. He likes to tackle and play football and do all
Okay.
that. And we don't really know what Ethan is yet. He just cries whenever he's hungry, tired, or needs a diaper change. So
Star Trek: The Gospel will be the very first lesson, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, he's a Star Wars.
Star
He's
Wars.
not a
Oh,
Trekkie.
None of that- no room for that
Yeah, no
blasphemy.
Trek.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, we're not going to bust out Romulan while
Hey.
we're reading Romans.
Boy, did I screw.
it's not a bad idea, though, right?
I know, right? Yeah, I got a lot of them. I got a lot of good ideas, don't I, Deacon?
I'm just feeling spacey. That's all.
Well, it's time for us to hit Warp Drive. Good seeing you, friend.
absolutely. Great to meet
Congratulations.
you.
Welcome to South Carolina.
Thank you so much. I
Really?
appreciate it.
No kidding.
I appreciate
Good
it.
to have
Thank you guys, and great to meet you guys.
That's awesome.
We'll get you back over here.
Yeah, that'd be
Langston
awesome.
Baptist Church. Good,
Yes, sir.
good group of folks over there. Been there a long time. So if you're looking a new church home, Visit him. He's new. Give him a shout out.
Give me a shot.
Yeah,
that'd be
good
good.
to see him. Thank you, buddy. Hey, come on back. More River Talk in just a minute.